We're going to take a look at some of the Cajun concept cut-ups submitted by Coach Page, the offensive coordinator at Midwestern State in Texas, coming off a terrific season this year. And this particular concept, as Coach Page describes in his full-length clinic report, which can be accessed by insiders members at xandolabs.com. He talks about specifically the route progression, the quarterback read progression. He's very technical in terms of why this route has been so successful for him. It's particularly developing young quarterbacks. He mentioned he went from getting 1.7 yards after catch on this concept to about 8.7, which is always helpful against attacking overhang defenders. So the whole concept is based off a horizontal stretch attacking that corner, okay, whatever it may be, based on a defensive structure that you're seeing. And we're just going to take a look at a couple clips here, coaches. If you want the full narrated version, okay, you can become an insider member. If you want the full unnarrated version with just the raw cut-ups, you can access those as well. So we're taking a look here at the top of the screen here. You're going to see the three-man route. The back here presents the third man in the route concept. What you're going to get from number one is he is going to run, okay, what Coach calls mainly, it's almost like a quick looky concept, or Coach refers to it as the sneak route. Okay, so what he's doing here by number one is he is going to stretch that invert defender, okay, and he's going to find an area in the offense where that, or an area in the defense where that's an open route. Number two is going to work to push vertically here, and you see what he does here. Pretty good job, dipping and ripping, pushing vertical, okay, mandatory outside release, and he's going to break his route off on a corner route. What the back does here is the back presents the illusion by getting the ball to the flat, which drives the invert defender, okay, on the back to the flat and opens up that alleyway or that area into the sneak route. You see it's an easy pitch and catch, and you can see the yards after the catch, even though it may not be non-contact here. You see what we're talking about. So in this example here, it's a 3-by-1, so again, it's a three-man route starting at the bottom of the screen. Now the bubble by number three automatically puts stress on the invert defender, so he's forced now to make sure he leverages that and accounts for that. Now the option is for number two on the corner route. You have a two-high safety defense here, so number two, he's going to see the invert defender flying out of the way. So there's the invert defender, he's flying out of the way, okay, handling that bubble route. So what that does is now it opens it up a little bit for him to make sure that he is making his break on the corner. You know, and Coach does mention, it's tough to see here, Coach Page talks about sticking that foot in the ground, making a quicker break to the corner, okay, in that particular situation. But again, the ball's thrown on time, okay, because of that invert player handling that bubble route, it allows a sneak route to be open behind it. And the ball's thrown where it needs to be. Now, one thing we should point out to you here is the ability of that sneak defender to make sure that he doesn't find his way into the inside linebacker or the Mike linebacker. The Mike's looking to wall off number three here. He's got to make sure he sits. He gets his jersey number into the quarterback. Coach Page talks about the vapor trail. That's the concept he uses, or the terminology he uses when that receiver starts moving right here, pushing vertically, making his corner stem. He's off the vapor trail of that receiver. Okay, here you have another cut up of it. Now the difference is now you're going to use a tight end in this situation with that motion. So now what you're getting is a Sam linebacker is in the box because of the tight end. The route progression does not change. Okay, so what you're going to have, number one here, he does a good job of cutting his split. So if you watch number one here, he's going to cut his split a little bit inside there to make sure, okay, that he is able to get where he needs to be. Okay, so there's a the tight end working off the Sam linebacker. Number one understands that he has to get Sam linebacker has to fight through number two to get him to run the sneak route. So what he mentions here is if he happens to fly out and take the back, so the Sam linebacker flies out here, if he does so and takes the back, well, the sneak route's just going to hook up right underneath here. Sam could only carry that tight end so far because of that sneak. So the Sam linebacker sees the sneak route. It opens up the lane for the corner route right here on the tight end. Coach Page does mention that the tight end does a great job of trying to get to the toes of the safety. Now, that's the coaching point you'll see in the next couple clips where the number 2 receiver on the corner route does not do a good job of making his break on time. He breaks a little too early. In this situation, it's a decent break. Okay, could make a little sharper on his cut. All right, but that's what we need there. So now you have the Cajun concept out of empty formation. The defense is going to bluff out of a blitz here, but there's your 3-by-2 here. Okay, you have a 3-by-2 empty formation. Same rules apply. So here's what we're talking about in the vapor trail. So here's number 2 working his break onto the corner route. So here's a settle route or the snake route. He's going to work off his vapor trail. Okay, the outside linebacker, the inside linebacker, it's like a 4-3 scheme. He's able to leverage that thing. Okay, the bubble now puts stress on that corner. It's a cover 2 scheme, so that cornerback seems to be the flat player in this situation. So the quarterback sees that corner right there, hugging that. He's able to leverage. The ball needs to go right there. The one coaching point on number 2 is the corner route. You know, Coach Page does mention that he'd like that break to be a little higher. And what we mean by that break is just making sure you break at the toes of the safety. Okay, the safety's not in the side of the film when he makes his break, so Coach does make that point that could be done a little better. Now what we're seeing here is 3rd down, okay, or 4th down, excuse me. It's out of empty. It's a soft cover 2. Now watch the play of the corner up top. Corner's playing real loose up top. He's at the sticks right now. Okay, so right now number 1 who's running that sneak route knows he's got to get to the sticks. Okay, and he's able to drive and get right to the sticks. Good job off the vapor trail. Gets his eyes to the numbers of the quarterback, or gets his numbers to the eyes of the quarterback. Okay, number 2 again could be making his break a little deeper. It may have something to do with 4th and short. Okay, but the break could be a little higher on that, a higher angle. But the one thing about the sneak route, he does a really good job of not letting that Sam linebacker be involved. Now, Sam's a lot tighter than the last clip, but he's able to fade out, whatever you want to call it, shuffle out, or just get yourself away from the threat of that player. So you see how he does it right here. He kind of shuffles out there. He's able to get away from that player and catch the ball at the sticks. Last clip for you, again out of empty. It's a soft cover 2 defense once again. Okay, really good job by number 2. As you see, he's doing a really great job getting off the ball on his corner route. Again, the break may be a little too high, but you see the film's a little tight here, but you see number 1 run the sneak route. Okay, both of them do a pretty good job in this situation. Last one here for you. Clip was on there twice, but now number 2, again, good job, mandatory outside release, getting on that corner out. He's able to, again, could make his break a little sooner, a little later here. He breaks a little too low, but the difference is now you have a lazy corner right here, okay, who's not driving on the flat route. Difference is it's 3rd and long here. All right, so he's not going to drive on that. He's not going to feel pressure by that to make a move on that. So what the quarterback does, he looks at the sneak route, sees it's not there. He goes back to the backside progression. Now, Coach Page mentions you could have different combinations here on the backside, whatever you like to have. All right, but the point he makes here is that number 1, this on both sides do a great job of sitting in the voids. And the backside does a good job by seeing and having his numbers to the quarterback so the quarterback can see his vision. So you could tag that both ways. If you're seeing a balanced cover structure like cover 2, you can have the sneak route by number 1 on the backside as well, as Coach just showed you here. He's able to do, even out of empty, you see the 2 receivers to the bottom here. They both particularly run the sneak route. The outside linebacker can only leverage one of them. So this player's there. He's able to get right to the stick. So we think it's a good concept, especially in short yardage, or it's a good concept to get your playmakers the ball in space, let them do some yards after catch and things like that to make plays. Our thanks goes out to Coach Page and the staff at Midwestern State for putting together this clinic report on their Cajun concept.